Hi, this is Shima from LangFort International Academy, and with me is Miss Ambali Tressa Verghese. We are back again with another IELTS speaking demo session. I am playing the role of an examiner and Miss Ambali will play the role of a candidate. So let's get started.
LangFort International Academy. Your passport to the world of opportunities.
This is a speaking test of International English Language Testing System taking place on Saturday, 6th of November at LangFort International Academy. Center number LIA003 and the candidate is Miss Ambali and the candidate number is 001433. The examiner is Shima Anup and the examiner number is 433816. Good morning.
Good morning.
May I know your full name, please?
My name is Ambali Tressa Verghese.
How may I address you?
You can call me Ambali.
May I see your ID, please?
This is my passport.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Angamali, a place nearby the Cochin International Airport.
Okay, Ms. Ambali, for part 1, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on general topic. What form of transport do you prefer to use?
Nowadays, I prefer to use my private vehicle. So if I'm going to a crowded place or to a city where there's a lot of traffic, I prefer using my scooter. But if I'm going for a long trip or with my family, I would go in my car.
What is the most popular means of transportation in your hometown?
In my hometown, people prefer to use both their private vehicles and the public transport facilities. We have a lot of public transport facilities available around. We have the trains, we have the buses. There are also private buses and autos, so people use that. Some of the people use their own vehicles because nowadays most of them have their own private vehicles, so they use that too.
Okay. Moving on to the historical building. Have you ever seen some old buildings in the city?
Yes, I have seen quite a lot of old buildings in my city. India is a country which has a lot of historical buildings in ancient places, so even my place is blessed with a lot of them. One of the places I visited recently was the Jewish synagogue in Fort Kochi. It's an old, I believe it's over 1,000 years old. The Jewish, one of the only Jewish synagogues which currently has their ceremonies still taking place, and it's a beautiful place to visit.
Do you think we should preserve old buildings in the cities?
I believe we should preserve the old buildings because that talk a lot about our history, our culture and our tradition. So only if we preserve them, our future generations can also know about what we were and how we lived. And that talks to the world about us as a community and a group of people who believes in their traditions and showcases their history.
Do you prefer living in an old building or a modern house?
My personal choice would be to live in a modern house. Though I love old buildings, there are a lot of problems which come with that. There will be a lot of renovation and taking care we'll have to do. And I personally am not a person who can spend time or effort on that. So I would prefer to live in a modern building.
Do you wish to see any old building in the future and why?
Yes, I would like to visit some old buildings or historical places. One which I particularly would like to visit would be the temples in Hampi, which is also a UNESCO site. I mean, there are a lot of UNESCO sites in India, but the temples in Hampi is something that I wanted to visit for a long time and never been able to. So given a chance, I would go there first.
This is the end of part 1 and now I am going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about it and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Here is your pencil, paper and a question. and your time starts now. You have completed your 1 minute. Please do not touch the paper with the question, and you can start your speaking now.
People draw inspiration from a lot of acquaintances in their life, or even people they don't know. Today I would like to talk about my sister, who has been an inspiration to me all throughout my life. She has always been there with me through thick and thin, giving me advices and motivating me to achieve the best I can. One of the instances that I can state is when I wanted to go back to studies after almost a period of 10 years. So I completed my college, went to work, and I had took a break from my career to take time for my family. So after all this, when I started to think of going back to work, I realized that I have reached a state where my skills and the demands of the industry doesn't match. So this was the time when I started to think how I can improve myself, and she was the one who lighted the fire to me to think about going back to studies. So that was a very strange thing for me to do when I was very skeptical going back to academia after such a long time. But she has been a person who has been very resilient, completed her PhD, jumped through a lot of hoops to achieve that, had a lot of problems like childbirth. She had met with an accident, but through all that she had persisted and achieved her goals. So this encouraged me a lot, and she pushed me to work harder, to think beyond the current state, and think about the future and the goals that I want to achieve, the dreams that I had and the career I wanted to have later in my life. So that inspiration and motivation is pushed me to look for a college, to find a place and go back to studies. And I am very happy that she has been very encouraging and supportive about the decision.
Okay, your time is up. I'm going to stop you there, Ms. Ambali. Please turn the note paper over and put it to the side along with the pencil. I'm going to take back the question, and now we'll start with part 3. What will encourage children to learn more?
Children usually learn from examples. So for small children, setting examples by their parents or teachers would be a good way to help them learn new things and set their goals. When they grow up, I think the instructions from people around them and seeing other people achieving success in their life would help them learn more things and be successful.